Local arts organizations have the power to play a role in everything from community challenges to the vibrancy of national democracy by expanding access to both creating and experiencing art. That mission drives one of the country's most vigorous and diverse artistic hubs in West Philadelphia. Senior arts correspondent Jeffrey Brown visited for our series Art in Action, exploring the intersection of art and democracy and our Canvas coverage.
Connection. Oh, right.
It was a gathering of gentle movement, some laughs, and plenty of concern.
Never in my lifetime has democracy been more under threat.
Over how small arts organizations here in West Philadelphia and beyond can meet the moment. Andrew Zitzer, professor of urban strategy at Drexel University, was one of the organizers of the event, titled Democracy in the Making, with an emphasis on the creative act itself.
For us, it means that democracy is not something that is either an abstraction or an assumption. It's not something that's just out there that's always been and will forever be, and it's not something that we receive. It's something that we make together.
Public Trust, where this group met, is one of a number of small West Philly nonprofit spaces based around a simple but, to Zitzer and others, profound idea about the role artists and arts organizations can play in their local communities.
The artist as embedded facilitator and storyteller and reflector of community experience is as old as it comes. And so this culture of democracy is reclaiming a very old paradigm for today's reality.
And the floral scents from Mrs. Eva's mango trees, I wish you were here.
One such organization, Writers' Room, established by Drexel in 2014 with an unusual goal for a university: to serve as a place for students and community members to write, share, and publish their stories together.
Think of a time from your past when you experienced a moment of discovery. Right?
Rachel Wenrick is founding director of Writers' Room.
We're unique in that we were founded with our students and faculty and our neighbors together.
Students and community members.
Yes. There's not a lot of rooms that you walk into where you're going to see someone 18, someone 84, who is going to greet each other, know their histories.
And when we got the grades back,
Local resident Carol McCullough is a founding member of the workshop and now adjunct faculty at Drexel.
when you get people together to talk about what it feels like and maybe preserve that talk in the form of writing, then you've got good stuff going on.
It's one effort to address a history of divisions in an ever-changing community, a 19th century suburban-like setting, an economically depressed 20th century neighborhood, largely African American, major universities, Drexel and the University of Pennsylvania, that in this century have continued to expand and buy up properties, helping spur a gentrification that priced or pushed many older residents out of their homes. It was something Carol McCullough experienced firsthand in 2015, even as the Writers' Room was celebrating its successful first year.
Carol sent me the email that said, a developer has bought my building and I have to move. It was the moment where we understood we are implicated in each other's stories, right?
And so the arts-centered, community-driven, affordable housing project Second Story Collective was born. First, matching students as renters in local residents' homes to help with high housing costs. Then raising money through state grants to pay for renovations of existing homes so older residents can age in place. And now working with community organizer Dwayne Drummond and local developer Charles Lomax on the building of 18 homes to be owned by residents but shared with and rented to students. The idea: build more affordable housing, generational wealth, and a diverse neighborhood. Work that's grown out of an arts project.
Artists do challenge the ways that things are, so they'll look for how they can twist that plot and turn it into something positive.
Thank you so much. This is phillycam.org, 106.5 FM, Center City of Philadelphia.
Another example of hyper-local art in action here, the work of an artist, educator, and activist who goes by the name Brujo de la Mancha. He produces a weekly radio show from low-frequency FM community radio station PhillyCam. And in a wide variety of ways, including Aztec dance exhibitions, plays, and other kinds of arts, celebrates indigenous life in the Americas.
I don't know if you heard about it, but there's a new petition. They came out with these topics we are now with immigration.
He uses his various platforms in different ways, including advocating for migrant rights.
People can say, yeah, he's a real activist. He's doing something like that. And I said, no, I'm just an artist. But like, I'm an artist. You can categorize my art in any box.
Today, Brujo says many in his community are in hiding, afraid even to come out to his public performances. But he intends to continue his work.
We have to show to people who we are, but there's many ways to show it. I'm not going to be screaming. It doesn't get me nowhere. But I can show you the beauty of who we are.
All of this is now going on in a new political environment, of course, in which universities and arts organizations face challenges, even threats, for diversity and other programs. And that brings new challenges to Zitzer and other scholars and practitioners of the connection between arts and democracy at the local level.
It creates a new kind of urgency. It creates a context where mutual aid and solidarity, especially at the local level, is our superpower.
Are there limits to being so hyper-local?
That question of scale is a fundamental question. So yes, what we're doing here in West Philadelphia is hyper-local, and what's happening in Chapel Hill or in Detroit is also hyper-local, but can we create a federated movement of people talking about arts, culture, cities, and democracy that gains strength in its networks?
A big question and a continuing vision that will be refined and refocused as the political times change. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Jeffrey Brown in Philadelphia.